There was a story yesterday out of San Diego where it was stated that San Diego Police Department's parking enforcement team has written over 4,200 tickets since January for vehicles not in compliance with California's new 2025 daylighting law, AB 413, which made it illegal to park on the curb within 20 feet of a crosswalk if you're facing it. And the way that San Diego's Fox 5 reported it is why you don't hate government enough. As Fox 5 stated, the law applies to any crosswalk, even if it's not a marked crosswalk with the white lines on the street, and even if the curb is not painted red, or if the curb is not painted red for the full 20-foot length. Their video clip literally starts with an SDPD cop using a fucking measuring tape to see if a car is out of compliance, and they go on to justify their shakedown scam by proclaiming that they've warned people before they started pumping drivers for revenue. If a cop needs a fucking measuring tape to know if you broke the law was shit to begin with. But really, this is how you know politicians and their lapdog enforcers hate you, because when they don't know the law, it's qualified immunity all the way down. But when you miss the mark by an inch, the extortion begins. The most infuriating part about this whole shit show, and also an example of how you don't hate journalists enough, is that nowhere in the story do they bother to ask why the hell the areas aren't properly signed, or why the sidewalks aren't just painted red in what is universally known in America as a place you cannot park. Instead, they just let the meter maid justify her racket by saying, just remember that some red zones were painted prior to this law, so some of them might only be 5 feet, but we have to give that 20-foot clearance. Cool, then just paint the whole fucking 20-foot clearance and warn people properly. This isn't rocket science, and if the state can't afford the paint, then the so-called life safety reasons for this law aren't that important to them. If you're visiting and not from California, or perhaps if you have a life and didn't manage to memorize every asinine law and diktat that gets thrown into the books, you could find yourself with a parking ticket that has a base price of $117 before the courts tack on all their extortion fees, all because the asshats in Sacramento and Governor Goodhair couldn't be asked to pass a law that was easily understandable by the masses in a way that's been commonplace for literal decades. And yes, because government is government, it would be illegal for the people to warn their fellow citizens by painting those curbs themselves. I mean, seriously, at this point, screw all of these people. And cheers.